Ready? Okay, so hello. I hope that more people we have online. Let's say in person we have only four of you, but let's try, to have this lecture or this workshop as more practical as we can have. Okay, so I am Edgaras, and I am here to talk with you and to share my thoughts and my insights regarding customer value proposition. So this is my second time as a lecturer in Futurepreneur programs. Actually, my first time was two years ago when we have a COVID time, and it also was online. So not a big difference this time, but of course we have some new things here. So okay, so my mission for today, first of all, is to share my experience regarding customer value proposition with you. And my personal experience with value proposition is that for 5 years I worked as a facilitator with the students. Those were developed their own ideas together with the companies. So the idea is very similar like Futurepreneurs program, but the main difference that in Futurepreneurs you came with your own idea, or choose one of the challenge which you would like to solve together with your team. But in my case, in my experience, I worked together with the team and the company. So the company was the ones who give us the challenge and give us the content. So it means that team already have very good starting position, a good background about the problem. They don't need to do a lot of research. Of course, they need to do that, but a lot of information came from a company, because company was the ones who really care about solution to this challenge. When we're talking about value proposition, there are a lot of different views what value proposition is. And today I would like to share two perspectives. So in my agenda, you can see that there are value proposition 1, value proposition 2, and also value proposition relationship with marketing. Many studies, many researchers surveys shows that usually there is a big lack of attention to a value proposition, especially for early startups. So it means that people really don't estimate, that value proposition is one of most important thing in a business model. And those of you who are familiar with business model canvas, you can see that value proposition is in a center or a center block in a business model canvas. So it means that value proposition is a key thesis or core thesis, core block, building block in our business model. So we actually need to spend quite a lot of time to define and to, let's say, adjust our value proposition. So if we talk about value proposition and how we can use it, then again we need to have a statement or value proposition statement which is clear for our audience to understand. So is one thing, and when we have our value proposition, it means that we have, let's say, two in one. First thing, that value proposition is defining our business. So it's first thing. Another thing, or another point, is that we can use value proposition as our marketing tool. So when we are talking about a value proposition, again, we can say maybe sometimes what it is value proposition. It may be more easier for us to say, but sometimes it's hard to say what is not. And I think that you heard some terms like elevator pitch, or metaphor, or position statement is, let's say, well-known buzzwords, but actually these buzzwords are good for communication, for marketing, but they are not value proposition statement. So to start and to work with value proposition, what we need to do, we need, first of all, to have, let's say, some kind of a sandbox, and and to put our thought in this sandbox. But we need to understand that we use value proposition as a communication tool, first of all. And when we use it as a communication tool, it's good, and it's one of the rule that we need to present to our, let's say, customer or potential customer information what we want that our customer know. So in this case, we need to understand that for us, as solution developers, actually sometimes it's very hard to get rid of, let's say, technical words, or let's say business jargon words. So we usually like to use some kind of fancy words in our position statement, but the rule number one is that we need to create our value proposition in plain text. So in plain text, in plain language that everybody can understand. And these are the words that we usually, especially in the beginning, try to use in our communication. That helps us to describe our solution. But actually, these words are quite empty. Because, for example, words like amazing, revolutionary, innovative, breathtaking, without any evidence, without explaining how, for example, your solution is amazing, is just empty words. So what we need to do, we need to explain what amazing or innovative features we have in our solution. And also we need to explain on the second step how this innovative solution can help to our potential target group or potential client. So, so it means that to have a good value proposition statement, first of all, we need to forget about these words and to put only, let's say, our describe our solution in a very, very plain language. Next is what is value proposition. So actually, value proposition is only one sentence. And in this one sentence, we need to do several things. So first of all, we need to provide what, in this one sentence, what we have. Secondly, we need to explain what benefit or unique value we can deliver to our potential clients. This one sentence reminds me, let's say, school or final grade at school when I needed to write an essay, final essay. So it means that when I write essay, I need to have, let's say, one most important sentence. And after that, in essay, in other points of essay, in other paragraphs, I need to put evidence. Those can prove my main sentence. So it's the same with value proposition for startups. So you have it, you need to have it, and what you need to do next, you need to go to the market and to test it. When I say go to the market, you need to find potential clients and to attract with them and to discuss it. So you need to find the possibility to communicate your value proposition. And when you communicate a value proposition, what you do, you test your thesis, or let's say you test your hypothesis. And in this case, when you have a positive hypothesis, that you got a positive feedback from a customer that yes, this is what we really looking for. So it means that you already have some value which you create for some customer for in such a way, because you also explain it in value proposition statement. And what is more important, that this customer is willing to spend his money for your solution. So it means that when you have a positive hypothesis, you can use it as a center of your business, of creating your business. So you can use to create a business model and also to create other things related with your solution. About this one sentence. So what we need to put in this one sentence. Again, I like analogy with let's say cooking. So we need to have 4 ingredients. Number 1 is target customer. So we need to name who is our customer, or what group of customers we are, let's say, trying to attract. After that, we need to also have a problem information about a problem that we are trying to solve. Also, we need to have or to name the product what we are offering to our customer group. And finally, we need to provide a value. So what kind of value we provide to our target group with our solution, which can help to solve the problem of this target group. Okay. Few examples. All of you know Google. So we have 2 columns. On left side, we have a good value proposition example. On the right side, we have a bad. Can you see a difference? It's not fully online, lecture, so I expect more interaction with you. So? The left one is much more custom than the right one. Uh-huh. Okay.
The second one talks about how it's done. The first
Okay. But if we remember these 4 ingredients, yes? What 4 ingredients we have to have in our value proposition? And when we see the example, yeah? So on the left side, we have 3 of them. But Google is the world's largest search engine. So it's our product, yeah? That allows internet user, it's a customer group, internet user to find relevant information quickly and easily. So in green, we have values. Those are important for our target group, for our internet user. On the right side, we have a definition that Google use a patent page ranking algorithm to make money through ad placement. So on the right side, we don't have any information about our customer group. We also don't have any information about values. No customer group, no. Sorry? What business model? On the right? Okay, so from my perspective, business model, the core of business model is a value proposition, first of all. So, yeah. So, but you can see a difference. And also you can see a question, are internet users really Google customers? What do you think? Who are our customer of a Google? It's very traditional example, this one, with Google especially. People who pay for ads, yeah, and who advertisers who would like to attract more potential sales, more potential new clients, or to upsell to current clients. And yeah, you're right that actually Google value proposition for their customer is that Google is a search engine. It's the same product, but what we have different target group because our target group now is advertisers, and for advertisers we suggest or we offering new values. So tailored content, increasing click-through rates and conversion rates. So it's total different, let's say, offering and statement comparing what we have previously. Okay, maybe one more question. What is the difference between user and customer? Customer is the one that pays money and the user is the one that uses. Yeah. I fully agree with that. Yeah. So yeah. So based on this example and based on your definition, I fully agree with that. I also think that, and we will have one exercise also for you. So I prepare one exercise for you to define your value proposition today. So please also keep in mind that when you will prepare your and share with us, I hope, your value proposition, so please put not users, but first of all, customer in value proposition statement. Okay, for me personally, one of, let's say, hardest thing to define what value I create for a target group with one of the product, one I don't know product what I have is what value I can create, and for that. I have a slide for you also to share. So here in this slide, you can see more than 10 different values. And these values are already categorized, let's say, by customer group. So on the left side, we have values. Those are important for customers, for end users, for customers. On the right side is a list of values. Those are most important for business to business. Let's say clients. So depending on what product you have, to what and what is your target group, target customer, you also need to keep in mind that, for example, if your customer is people, group of people, not a business one, so you need first of all take a look to values those are on the left side. If your customers are business companies, so you need to take a look to the right side. And this is value proposition statement template. So in what we do in value proposition template, we need to put all this information or all 4 ingredients, those we already saw in previous slides. So first of all, we start with 4. We need to name what are our target customer. After that, we need insert the problem or the need of our customer. So what the problem or the need our customer has right now. And after that, we need to put our product or name of our product. And finally, to put a list of values, those are related with the problem or the need of our target customer. So if we fill this value proposition statement template, we will have one sentence, and in one sentence we can explain what we are trying to do. So what we are trying to create, what are our business about. Maybe you have any questions regarding this template? No? Okay, so if not, so I would like to pass, let's say, now some work to you. And I would like to ask you to prepare your value proposition statement by using this template. So for that, I estimate 10 minutes, but I guess maybe you can do it in 5 minutes. Or maybe you can do it faster. After you prepare your value proposition statement, I would like to ask to share it with us. Okay? So now we need to decide time. So how much 10 minutes is okay, or 5 minutes is enough?
Start with 10 if everybody is ready before that. Start with 10 if everybody is ready before that.
Maybe let's start with 5. Okay? Okay, so 5 minutes to create your value proposition statement. I will leave a slide with template. Okay, so I will take a countdown. Okay. we need to another 5 minutes. Another 5 minutes? Okay. And yes, after 5 minutes, I would like every one of you to present your value proposition statement, and also I would like to give a feedback. But each of you need to provide feedback to your colleague, and put your feedback in two ways, in a positive and constructive way. So it means that you need to say what you like in problem statement proposition, and constructive feedback you need to provide what you suggest how to improve this value proposition. So here we have 4 different teams, as I understand, and also we have some people online. So from about online, so Antanas just will read us value proposition statement from online teams. Okay, so who would like to be the first one? You? Okay, please come here on the stage, because we can have. Okay, and who would like to give positive feedback of you? So? Okay, I will decide. So you will give a positive feedback. So when you give a positive feedback, what's your name?
Alexandra.
Alexandra. So when you give a positive feedback to Alexandra, you can say what you like, not idea and so on, but what you like from a valid proposition statement. And you will give a constructive feedback. So how Alexandra can improve her valid proposition statement. So
I say what I don't like.
no, you say how she can improve her statement. So you provide a constructive feedback how she can improve it. Okay.
So before I start, I suppose I have to say what's my business about, or just from the value proposition.
Just valid proposition.
Okay. So, for people who share the idea of sustainable consumption and using animal-free products, who is looking for eco-friendly alternative to leather, accessories for everyday life, we have developed accessories from washable paper or vegan leather that helps reduce waste, since we are using leftovers after ground cultivation and killing animals.
Okay. So positive feedback.
I think she covered all of the necessary elements. I think you covered all of the necessary elements. Frankly, actually, to me, I'm a very visual person. I remember very little. I need to see it written rather than.
Do you remember target group?
That's my problem. I would rather see it written rather than purely auditory. It's my kind of like shortage in information processing.
Remember something, some words, some phrase from Alexandra's problem statement.
Sort of like just on the outside of the memory. As I said, I very much would prefer to see it written. It was a relatively long sentence, which makes it harder also to remember. And my verbal memory always sucked, unfortunately. That's not Alexandra's fault, that's my shortage.
Okay, that's enough. So constructive feedback. How Alexandra should improve her problem?
Okay, so maybe I didn't hear, but I think you said they have developed, and okay, so it's my mistake. Well, I would shorten it probably, since you described a little bit too much, and you even had to use like connective phrases in since, because, and why. And I think it would be better to make it shorter and maybe cut down some features, not from the whole product, but maybe try to organize it better.
Maybe you can provide some kind of example.
Instead of using since, you can just use like, not infinitive, but ing form. It would make it shorter, much shorter.
Okay, but it's more related on the way how to present, but maybe you have some constructive feedback on the content.
No, I think she inserted in the right things, so she used the template, that's it.
Okay. Do you remember something from her position?
Something about ecological paper or something that can be reusable or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay, thanks. So maybe you will be next one.
Okay.
And Alexandra, positive feedback, and what's your name? Laurina's constructive feedback. And your name is?
Stanislav.
Stanislav. Okay.
Okay, so it's for students who are struggling with school and university studies. We have developed adaptive learning software that helps them improve their skills, gain knowledge, and it adjusts the difficulty level of problems, saving the students' time and effort.
Okay, pass microphone to Alexandra. So positive feedback.
I like that it's short. Yeah. So I understood the main idea that it's for students who is searching for the fast and effective tool to learn. That's it.
Okay, and Florina's constructive feedback. So how to improve Stanislav value proposition?
So maybe I kind of missed a little bit of grounding. How it's going to be done through what? Is it books or web page or application or YouTube videos? So that's I get the idea that you want to help traveling students, but how? Maybe that's.
So, yeah. So I guess it's how you deliver a value. How you deliver a value for your target customer, first of all. Yeah. Yeah, could be, yeah. Okay. So,
Gintas.
Gintas. Okay. So Gintas is presenting Laurina's positive feedback and Alexandra constructive feedback.
For providers of medical products and services who are looking for easier and more efficient ways to market their products and services, we have developed an online marketplace that conveniently generates sales for them, saving them time, energy, and money of actively marketing themselves.
Okay. So positive feedback.
So it's very clear, very close to my value proposition. So it's very clear, it's very understandable, easy to get what problem you're gonna solve. Sounds from the side sounds very nice. That it kind of makes me feel that everything is gonna be solved for me if I was a medical provider. So the customer is very niche and direct, which is I think is very good. That what I like.
What do you like the most?
I think that the last ones that saves time and money. I like. And what?
Time, money, and energy.
Energy. So time and money is energy, I guess. I like that. I like the that's very niche businesses. That is medical providers. So I instantly get the image and of what's going to be about.
Okay. And constructive feedback.
Since I'm not a medical employee, it's kind of difficult for me to get the idea. Maybe I didn't understand how you would like to save energy, money, okay, but it's energy. So just this one from the first one. I also need to see it.
So your constructive feedback is to provide information how we deliver also value. Okay. Do you agree with that?
My impression that would kind of go outside of this definition of. I mean, I could do that, but then I think it would become a considerably longer text.
Yeah.
So I think it's one of those things when people ask how, then I volunteer it, but I don't volunteer it before that because then it becomes a bit too long.
Okay, thanks. And last one, Lauris, please come on stage. So positive feedback. So Stanislav, positive feedback and constructive feedback for Gintas.
Okay. So for e-commerces who are challenged with content, we have developed an app powered with AI that compile business needs on paper or visually, and then, if needed, connect with creatives from around the world to produce effective visual content.
Okay, positive.
I liked the AI part because it's kind of a trend now. So the fact that you're implementing it and saying that you're using it is very nice. And you use like the words that actually attract customers, that it's effective, time effective, and I think they like it.
So overall, I think I like the value proposition. The only thing where I think it lacks a bit of specificity is you use the word creative creatives, which can kind of could be musical creatives, kind of like the visual creatives, performance creatives. So I think the target market needs to be a bit narrowed down because it's not clear whether you mean all of them or only a subset of them. So, and that kind of, when I heard that, I started thinking about which creatives is that, and then it's sort of like you tune out. So I think that's pretty much the only thing that I think it needs to be changed a bit.
Okay, do you remember something related to values?
With what?
With values, what are the main values for our customer?
That I didn't catch.
So maybe
Uh,
one should be improved.
Probably also, as I said, when I heard creatives, I got into my own internal thinking, and values were said after that in the last part. So probably that's one of the reasons why I didn't catch it. So I don't remember what he said. Therefore, I'm not in a position to comment on the values bit.
Okay. Lauris would like to add something?
That's right. I should include something that I would add that save time, or creates or improves sales. Because that's what the content does. That's why they should use the app.
Okay. Okay, thanks. Thanks a lot to all of you. And Antanas.
Yes, so we got two more propositions from our participants online. First of it is for busy adults who are working a lot and that are struggling with keeping documents organized and in safe place. And another one for students and schools who want to experience other cultures. We have developed a platform that generates ideas, social interaction, and self-improvement.
Okay. Yeah, maybe they both of this team can provide to each other feedback online, Okay. And we can go or continue, let's say, to our with our lecture. So this template is one perspective to the value proposition, and actually it's a very traditional one. Next one is value proposition, was I really like, and I worked with that method already, I don't know, for 8 years right now. And it's an NEBC method. NEBC method, maybe some of you knows it? No? NEBC method comes from Stanford Research Institute. And they find out this method when they have a challenge to understand what a researcher really do in his laboratory. So usually when you go to laboratory and ask a researcher what we are doing, so they can provide you a lot of technical information with words that you really don't understand, most of them, but actually you have a feeling that they are doing something great, something good, but you need to, let's say, help them to communicate what we are doing. So for this reason, they created a solution. So it's an NEBC method. And the NEBC method stands with 4 letters. So first one is a need. So it's the same need those you already talked in the first workshop with a problem solving. So what first of all you need to know, you need to define your need. So from my perspective, when we need to define the need, we need to do it, or let's say, we can define the need when we have 2 ingredients. Number 1 is our customer, and number 2 is a problem which this customer have. What we need to do? We need to provide the solution to the problem. And in NEBC method, it's called approach. So here in approach, we actually have a possibility to explain in details all the features all amazing features those we have in our product, or let's say in our solution. And we also have to prove that these features really minimize, or let's say solve a problem for our target group. So how these features really solve the need of our customer. After that, we have benefits and competition. And when we're talking about competition, so it's in most cases, and I think that in 100 cases, we have to have competition or alternative for our solution. I personally think that right now in the world, we don't have a problem for those we don't have a solutions. These solutions maybe can be very expensive, very hard to, let's say, implement and so on, but we have these solutions. Maybe it's difficult to implement and so on, but we have some solutions. So every time, for every our approach, we need to identify the most alternatives for our solution, and in benefits, we need to provide qualitative and quantitative information why our solution is better than alternative number one or competition number one. And also, we need to compare why our solution is better than competition or alternative number two. So we need to provide in figures, to provide numbers, because numbers is always give us a better impression than just plain words. And when we are talking about NEBC, we also can see that when people pitch or let's say explain us their solution or their value proposition, we can see different transformations. So usually, if we go to the, let's say, solution developer or researcher, so in his pitch, the main part is approach. So usually researchers said that for us, I create something. He can explain in technical terms very well how we do it. He can explain what are the features, why are these features, and how we create a benefit and value for us, and also how it can be delivered to us. But in his, let's say, version, we usually don't see or see a very little information about the problem, because for a researcher it's obvious that his, let's say, solution is needed for people or for target group. And for him, it doesn't matter, let's say, to provide evidence or provide information for what are the customer, what are the size of the market, what are the scope, and so on, so on. The same situation is with benefits and competition, especially for solution developers, because solution developers usually thinks, or traditionally thinks, that their solutions are the best one. And if they creating a new Facebook, like a solution, their solution are the best one, and it's obvious that they don't have, let's say, direct competition with their product. So what it means that we need to keep in mind these 4 letters, and we need to try, let's say, to focus on each of these letters. So to have successful communicated our value proposition, we need to ensure that we cover all the letters in more or less the same focus. So what we need to do, we need to provide information about solution, about competition, or let's say main competitors. We need to provide benchmark and compare our solution with the competitors. And we also need to provide information why it is important to have it. What is also interesting with NEBC, that this structure, NEBC, we can use for presentation from elevator pitch. So we can use this structure to create elevator pitch, or let's say 60 seconds presentation, and we can use the same structure for 1 hour presentation. So it means that depending on our audience, depending on, let's say, where we are and how much time we have, we can use the same structure for different our presentation to present what we are doing. Next is relationship or value proposition relationship with marketing. And like I said in the beginning, so if we are looking to a customer value proposition, so we need to look at from 2 lenses. One lens is as a business model part, or the core part of a business model. Another lens is as a marketing part. So when we have our value proposition, like you already did in exercise previously, so this information you can use to create an elevator pitch. Also, with this information you can use to create a metaphor or positioning statement or tagline for your identity. And again, when we want to create an elevator pitch, the easiest way is to take our value proposition statement and just to create very simple version of it with these 5 elements. So in elevator pitch, we need to have a hook. So we need to have some kind of question or some kind of information that really attract our potential, let's say, client or someone who we would like to interact with. Also, we have very briefly explained the problem, our solution, our unique features, and what is most important, we need to provide call for action. So if we had succeeded and presented our elevator pitch in 60 seconds, we need to also ask our, let's say, colleague what he or she need to do next after he or her heard our presentation. So it's an elevator pitch, but to create a good elevator pitch, of course, you need a lot of practice to do that. But from the content side, most of it comes from our value proposition. Position statement is actually the same like our value proposition, but plus here we need to put information regarding competition. So in our words, we take information from BMC, for example, regarding BMC structure from a competition side, but also to say that you have a competitors is one thing, but to prove how you are better or how your solution are better than competitors for qualitative or quantitative side is another thing. And please also keep it and put some figures here. Metaphor. So for startups, it was a trend to use metaphor for better explaining what we are doing. So it's much easier to explain to someone that your product is like Uber, but I don't know, in different sector, or like Airbnb, but for not I don't know, homes or flats, but for something else. So metaphor is also a good way, but it's not exactly your value proposition. So it helps you to present your solution or your product, maybe in most faster way, but it's not your value proposition. And final one is a tagline. So tagline, it's more related with brand marketing, and usually also it's important to have a tagline for, let's say, big companies, for big brands. For early startups, tagline it's not so, let's say, not by priority the first one which you need to look for or try to create one, but also you need to think that this tagline, it's good to identify you in let's say by your potential clients, but it should be done in a later stage, but not in the first stage. So that's all from my side. Maybe you have some questions, feedback, positive one, or maybe a constructive one. Anyone? Is it clear or is it not clear at all? Yeah? Okay. Okay.
I really like the way how you went into the detail of giving the structure to all of those major concepts like value proposition and pitch and all of the other things. So I found that to be particularly useful. Really makes it much more actionable.
Okay. Thanks. Some practical one, yeah? Yeah, cool. Okay, thanks. So, Antanas, maybe some feedback from online people? Uh-huh. Okay. So yeah, so okay, so if it's clear and you know it's clear maybe sitting here, but as I said, I would like to encourage you to create your value proposition and to go and to test it with your potential clients. I also can be your potential clients, one of them. So you can contact me. Here is my contacts. And I can provide you if you will, let's say, again give and provide me your updated version of value proposition, so I can provide you constructive and positive feedback. So I'm waiting, let's say, letters or calls from you. So hope that we will get in touch. And finally, yeah, thanks for your time. Thanks for participating. And good luck with your ideas development. Thanks.
See you next week.